You are listening to the Self-Help Psychic Podcast with your host, Tabitha Stitt. I am a psychic medium, licensed school teacher, and I'm here to provide you with messages from the universe, spirit, source, whatever you'd like to call this higher guiding power. Your soul's purpose is here happening right now. Are you aligned or misaligned? This podcast is going to help you discover everything you're meant to be and beyond. What you are passionate about is directly correlated to your soul's purpose. Now, when I say your souls, I don't mean SOLE, like it's just one finite thing. It can be a multitude of things. It can be a theme to where multiple things fall underneath of that theme, multiple activities, multiple adventures and explorations. But why do we neglect our passions? Well, we have fears, we have doubts, we have old beliefs, all of these things getting in the way. But how can you step into or align with your soul's passions? How not to neglect them? First, recognize that this term worthiness is becoming not only trendy, but it's true. I think the reason why it's surfacing so much in society and in social media and in certain environments is that there is a lot of healing that needs to take place when it comes to feeling worthy of what it is that we want to step into, or our passions, or getting out of something that's not healthy for us, right? Stepping away from something that we know is not good for us, but we choose to stay there. We choose to not do something. So recognizing that if someone else can do whatever it is that you're curious about, whatever it is that you want to do, then certainly you not only have the capability, but also you have the worthiness of doing it as well. It's this understanding that we have to break free of what's holding us back. So recognizing that something may be holding you back, even if you don't know exactly what that is, but if it feels depleting, it feels restricting, perhaps you feel stuck, you feel uneasy, doesn't necessarily mean that you are stuck. I don't ever feel like we're actually stuck. We just feel like it, right? It's this molasses. It's this ickiness. It's this dense energy. It's this environment, this relationship, this ideal of, oh, this is what life is meant to be, right? But it's not. You are to recognize when you need to change your status of worthiness, right? It's interesting because I've spoken with my own personal coaches. I've spoken with psychic mediums myself. Even though I am also a psychic medium, I do indeed get readings as well. I've spoken with my loved ones, and this term for me has come up as well. Oh, your worthiness. And that's maybe why it stems in this conversation with you now, because we're more alike than what we think. We think that we're so different. Yes, we have unique talents and skills and traits and experiences, but essentially at the end of the day, we're pretty much the same. We're a human having a human experience. So why would we not feel worthy? Why would this be keeping us stuck? Why do we not feel this sense of, I have the power to do this? Well, it's these old beliefs. It's just like this old stagnant energy that gets stuck in our subconsciousness. We don't even recognize that it's there. So once you start realizing, hey, you know what? I can do this. I can do this. I'm capable of doing this. And I would love to do this. I want to try it out. That's when everything shifts and changes. How not to neglect your passions. Create a space for yourself and for your passions. I'm talking not only like a mental space, that's the start of it, right? Mental space, meaning creating this vision in your mind, this visualization, this imagination, these ideas that stem from the brain, right? They stem from inspired messages. They stem from downloads from the universe. Yes, that mental space, creating that mental space. But what about creating an actual physical space within your home, within your apartment, within your car, your mode of transportation, within your journal? So creating the space is going to help you activate the passions within you. So it's this two-way street of receiving this information, this inspiration from Spirit, from God, the universe. And then now that you have that space, you can utilize that, you can invoke that, and then you can emit that from the inside out into the space that you have created for yourself. So you probably want some sort of supplies, whether that's just a number 2 pencil and a pad of paper, or perhaps you have tons of colors to work with. Maybe you just have a cushion to sit on, because meditation is your form of connection, your form of passion. Maybe creating a space is finally taking the plunge and going somewhere, an office space, and paying for that space where you go in either daily, weekly, and you have clients. You bring them into your space to where you can connect and heal each other. These are ideas, but you must make a space for yourself. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean your job or your career. Your passions can certainly, hopefully, be your career, but also you might have those passions outside of that as well. Whatever it is that helps you feel that connection to God, to Spirit, to your angels, your higher self, that is also a form of tapping into your passions, is utilizing what it is that you are experiencing within, and you're then putting it down in front of you. You're molding it. You're absorbing it into your energy. You're working with fabrics and materials and technological gadgets, paperwork, binders, oils, animals, all these different things. So creating a space where you can actually work with your passion or invoke that passion. Again, if you're not sure what you're passionate about, which I feel many of you may be at that phase in your life, I'm not sure, then look at what it is that just has your curiosity, your interest. What draws you in? Is it certain people, certain subjects, genres, colors, places? What is it that piques your interest? What is it? And then find yourself involving yourself in that space of curiosity. Whether that's taking a class, a course, connecting, speaking with a therapist, a coach, going on a solo road trip, going on a trip with your friend, getting out of your home may be the first space, the first base that you activate. That's how you find your passions. That's how you find your natural gifts, your natural talents, is simply by looking at what it is that you enjoy doing and or what you're curious about. Now, I say simply because it is oftentimes right in front of you. It really is right in front of you. And yet, it's so natural to us that we don't even see it. It's like we think, oh my gosh, but doesn't it have to be harder than this? Don't I have to struggle? Don't I have to feel and experience fear and pain in order to recognize my purpose, my passions? No, not necessarily. Now, that doesn't mean that we won't experience struggles and pain and hurt along the way. And that in itself grows our passion as well. We can be so angry and infuriated with something that we want to advocate for, a certain topic, a certain person, the underdog. That in itself also creates that passion within you. Look in that direction as well. It might not be a curiosity that you feel drawn to. Perhaps it's something that angers you, that is so belligerently invoking this feeling within your gut. It's not something that feels settling. That can be a topic of interest for you as well. Start to reflect, assess, get quiet for the love of effing God. Goodness gracious, we need to find quietness. Be quiet. Sit and reflect. Sit and pray. Sit and meditate. Sit by yourself, alone with Mother Nature. Allow yourself to be in the presence of this God source. That is how you're also going to recognize these passions. You're going to begin to feel more sensitive. And maybe you don't want that, right? Maybe it's a different type of healing that you need. Maybe you need to allow that sensitivity to be at ease, right? Maybe you're already sensitive. But if you step into the presence of this quietness, this stillness, then this God source, God, the universe, can work with you, your energy, and find this balance, this blending of the spirit world, right? And so this balancing begins to take place, right? So things won't feel so overwhelming for you. Or maybe you need to feel a little bit more overwhelmed. It's all part of the process. It's all part of recognizing what it is that you need. This self-assessment. Now, self-assessment does not mean that you need to be brutally blunt with yourself. It doesn't mean that you need to be harsh or judgmental. It's just an act of an awareness, an act of noticing, trying not to be judgmental. These are all forms of how you can not neglect your passions. So making the space, finding what it is, recognizing your curiosity, blending with God, quieting the mind. There was another one, it's not coming to me, it's at the beginning of this episode. What is it that you need to do in order to align with what fuels your soul? What is it that you need to do that will help you align even more with this path that ignites your soul? You know what you need to do. You know what you need to do. And it's probably scary. It's probably something that you are resisting. But it is the next step to this unfoldment of this beautiful course of life that you are playing, that you are part of. If you remain consistently where you are right now, continuously repeating the same old, knowing that you need to do something differently, you will continue to feel this neglectedness that your soul is trying to tell you about. So, this is a time for you to give yourself, your soul, your spirit, what it is needing from you. This isn't to put pressure on you, but this is to help you be the best and highest version of who you are. It's an unfoldment. It's a continuous unfoldment of discovery, self-discovering of who you are. I hope this has helped. And so it is. Thank you so much for listening. If you have a question that you want answered about spirit, empowering yourself, or how to manifest a life you truly love, head on over to tabithastitt.com/podcast and submit your question there. Until next time, continue to tap into your intuition, take action, and trust the process. And so it is.